Welcome back to the Back Nine coverage of the 2018 Delaware Disc Golf Challenge presented by Innova Champion Discs. Gatekeeper Media is doing the post-production coverage here, powered by PDGA and Millennium Golf Discs. We yet again have our second feature card with Eric Oakley, James Conrad, Austin Hannum, and Brendan Smith. Brendan at +2, James and Austin at -4, and Eric with a very solid front nine of -5.
Absolutely.
Going into hole 10, what do we see here?
So we're opening up with a pretty hard dog leg off the tee. After that, the hole kind of straightens out. It's listed as a par 5. It's one of the easier holes according to par out here at Iron Hill. If you do throw an excellent tee shot, you can throw an excellent second shot and definitely get a look for an eagle. I do believe there are a few eagles out there this weekend at the tournament, so let's see if we can see any on this here card.
Austin with a very simple hyzer shot. Only thing to worry about is being right up next to that tree. But even then, your second shot still just needs to be in the middle of the fairway to set yourself up for that final approach.
Absolutely. James with a nice putter here.
And keep in mind, I think a lot of players, especially newer players, their initial thought off the tee will be overstable.
Sure.
Because they think that they need that to hyzer around the corner. Actually, that would hyzer too far left on the left side of the fairway. So you'll see a lot more subtle hyzers with something flippy going around these corners.
Brendan's a little inside there, but gets a nice little reaction off a tree. This is the kind of tee shot where you can kind of bite off as much or as little as you want. Mm-hmm. You know, there's a pattern at Iron Hill, and it's kind of priority is to stay in the fairway. Meanwhile, you can kind of get as aggressive or not. You know, you can bite off as much or as little as you're comfortable with while maintaining that control and staying comfortable with your shot.
Yes.
That'll be a big pattern on this course.
And we have James following our advice and staying in the fairway with a putter. Nice little kick.
Absolutely.
Eric and Brendan had a couple of rough approaches. We'll see what they do from where they're at. And Austin, filtering left, but I think he should be totally fine from there.
Nobody really doing anything spectacular with their second shots, although Austin will have either kind of a long jump putt or just a simple approach to the pin.
Eric throwing a hyzer flick. Not sure if that's what he wanted. Potentially a little bit more flex on that shot.
Got a quick look of hole 18 there.
Brendan throwing whatever that red disc is. He's been flicking it all day. And James with his magic AVR.
This is that super beat up one. We'll just throw it real soft and watch it drift.
Perfect. That's a nice 20-footer for him. Simple little approach. Annie to pan to flat.
It's a nice little lean outside arm from Austin.
Mm-hmm.
See what Eric's looking at here.
Simple.
Trying to give that a bid maybe, but
definitely a hole you want to be getting a birdie on for sure. It's not one where a par feels that good, especially if you're trying to move up spots here.
Absolutely. Like I said, this is the second easiest hole on the course relative to par actually. So players are really looking to maybe give themselves a chance for the eagle, but certainly lock in the birdie on hole 10. So.
As we tap out here, we are moving into hole 11, which is a hole that I find really interesting.
How so?
It's just a really high-level shot off the tee.
Absolutely. There are trees everywhere.
Yeah.
For the time being, we saw 2 birdies there from James and Austin and a couple pars as well.
All right, I spoke too soon before. I thought it was going to cut to hole 11 sooner, but we are here on hole 11. 600 feet. It seems like a short hole, but the tee shot is daunting. You have to lace a gap.
Absolutely. Austin coming a little left side here. see what James has got lined up. Looks like a Thunderbird here.
Ooh. There is room off to the left. I think that is going to be a decent spot. The optimal shot is a long hyzer flipping shot with maybe a fairway driver that goes just as far forward as possible.
Absolutely.
Like Eric is doing right here.
Absolutely. And this hole fits right in with that same kind of Iron Hill theme where you can get as aggressive or as safe as you want, just as long as you're comfortable hitting that gap, making that initial tee shot. I actually threw a driver here trying to get the 2. It's kind of a downhill shot, so it allows you to get, more distance than you might normally think. Brendan getting caught up a little early here and catching another tree along the way.
Eric, after hitting a rock on his tee shot. Another Eric Oakley. Ooh, never mind. Looks like a little bit of a tough alley he was trying to hit there.
Yeah, it looked like he was lining up a really
tough shot.
Skinny gap, so that was a difficult shot to execute. Austin getting caught a little late. He'll have like maybe a long jump putt approach.
40, 50, potentially.
Brandon, a little bit of a miscue there. James from a knee.
Throwing that rock, I think, that he's been throwing.
That's interesting.
Not bad.
His lie looked to be relatively open, but he went to the knee. There must have been something we couldn't see there. But he'll have a look from 35, 40 feet.
Get in. Ooh. Decent shot.
Is Brennan? Oh, he doesn't have the magic.
Where is it? He didn't throw the black magic frisbee. That's that's okay. That's understandable.
Is this it though?
It is.
Here's the for those of you who don't know, that disc that he just threw
is money.
Is the infamous black magic frisbee.
We don't know what it is, but
We're
it
not
flies
sure.
very floaty. We love it.
It's a beautiful disc, and if you want to see a couple beautiful shots thrown with that disc, tune into the front nine coverage, and then meet us back here to watch James throw this putt.
Beautiful,
yes, sir. Look at that.
Cha-ching!
Have I seen this footage before?
I don't know, but we'll give you a nice rewind. Beautiful.
Bang, bang.
We have seen that putt go in from that distance from James many, many times.
Time and time again.
Beautiful.
It's almost not impressive that I called it to go in because you just assume if it's James Conrad and it's 40 feet, it's probably going to go into the basket.
And he's going to magnificently chase it down with his hair bouncing.
Yes, sir. Hair in the wind, flowing in the wind, grabbing that AVR like it's nothing. Ooh, Brennan giving
questionable
a toe tap to the putter there.
Hole 11 had some interesting scores there. We had James Conrad with a birdie, Austin with the par, and then a bogey and a triple bogey from Brendan and I believe it was Eric. Kind of a tough number, especially in that hole, but especially understandable if you don't hit that initial gap off the tee. Hole 12 is going to be a dog leg left. A lot of players, like James was trying to do, are going to throw a flat to hyzer kind of flex shot, and they want to bend as far left as possible because the fairway kind of goes down to that tree line and instantly cuts to the left.
Right. This is another opportunity for players kind of to get creative. You can kind of either just throw a straight mid-range, or you can try to bend something a little more overstable and try to push towards the green to the left. See Eric going for that shot here.
And a tough lie there, especially when you cut in short left. It makes it really tough to attack that green.
Yeah, it's going to pinch off his angle pretty bad. Brennan with a little bit of a right side pull as well.
And that's the tough thing when you're trying to throw those types of flex shots. You kind of want to open your hips up to get the disc over, but you have to throw the disc straight first. So that's the challenging part about this hole.
Wow, Eric with an ambitious flexing sidearm.
Not too shabby. Potential to save a par there.
What do you think? Tomahawk here?
Is this the most
roller.
tomahawks or rollers we've
roller
ever
this time.
seen from James in a round?
He's thrown quite a few.
I almost feel like he's thrown like half overhands this round.
Absolutely.
Beautiful flex sidearm that has sat down from Austin.
Now this green is really tricky. You'll see here it's covered in rocks, and there are actually several of the most large rocks on the green are right in front of the basket, kind of limiting your access. So
you don't get to slide one up there.
Absolutely. You're going to need to pull out your magic frisbee. It's looking like an AVR. I want to say that's an AVR stamp. But you're really going to see players trying to kind of float one in, kind of drop it in from up top, kind of elevator down, because you're not really wanting to rely on those rocks for any sort of predictable reaction off the ground.
James with a nice layup putt there.
Yep.
A very rare layup putt from James.
True.
Brendan with the uphill lie.
Wow, that was a good bid from there. That was a tricky spot to be uphill. Now this is the putt that you
kind of want to play basketball,
but you dream of making.
Yes, oof. You kind of want to play basketball on this type of putt for sure. Just drop it in as if there were no chains here.
It looks like Austin's trying to hit a moderately tight gap here.
Ooh.
Yeah, that looked
nice
like a tricky shot with that tree right in front of his chains. See what Eric can do. Trying to clean up for
beautiful.
Or maybe that would be a bogey.
Is it? Clearly, we weren't paying enough attention. We'll find out after the hole. James tapping in. And keep in mind, folks, this is me and Joel's first time doing commentary together. This has been kind of an interesting experience. So leave us a comment. Let us know what you think.
Absolutely.
Go ahead and roast us if you need to. It's been a fun time so far.
Okay, yeah. So a couple pars, couple bogeys.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best.
Anywho, we're back. Hole 13. This one is one of the few par 3s in the course. A little downhill dogleg left, but a very tough green to access.
Yeah, this is a tricky little line. You want to kind of push it straight, maybe bend it slightly to the right, and then with a moderately hard finish left at the end.
James going a little too straight off the tee. He'll have an easy up and down for a par.
Looks like Austin's lining up a mid-range here.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see mostly mid-ranges on this tee.
Ooh. Looks like he just didn't get his weight through on that one. He's kind of slung it out there, didn't quite accelerate the disc.
Right.
Looks like Eric might be throwing kind of a flex like he was trying to do on the previous hole. Ooh, let's see.
All right. Decent little reaction off a tree.
Yeah, not too bad.
And this is a hole that feels great to birdie. You're out here playing a lot of par 4s, par 5s at Iron Hill. Players stepping up onto this tee, you really are hungry for that too. Yeah. You don't see a lot of 2s out here.
Absolutely not. And you have 2 in a row here, actually, with 13 and 14.
Austin catching the last tree. I think once he misses that one, he's pretty open.
Exactly.
Catches the tree. Here's Brendan with a little upshot here.
An interesting choice to not go with the magic black frisbee on this one.
Absolutely.
I think the choice to throw it is...
Use the magic when you can.
There's no rhyme or reason to when that one comes out. It might be off the tee on the next hole. We don't know.
Ooh, Austin trying to ring up one.
And a little roll away.
It was a good bid from Austin. James trying to line up one. He's got it's kind of some crazy footing here.
Let's see.
Wow.
Nice try. Almost tags the cameraman.
Here's Eric lining up another long range one.
Oof. And that was for his birdie right there.
I believe so.
Austin cleaning up.
Yeah, so like you said, we've got, back-to-back par threes, and they're actually the scoring average is exactly the same on these two holes. So, hole 13 and hole 14, back-to-back par threes, and they both average 2.94. It's kind of an interesting little stat there because they are such different holes.
Oh yeah.
But again, like I said, you don't see a lot of twos on anybody's scorecard, no matter what caliber player you are. So when players step up to these holes, they're definitely hungry for the two.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And going into hole 14, we'll look here at 13 scores. We have a nice par from James, a bogey from Austin, and then pars for Eric and Brendan. No birdies on that hole. Hopefully on 14, we'll see if somebody can snag a 2 here.
Absolutely. So hole 14 it's a little bit of a wider fairway relative to the rest of the course. Players are trying to throw either a high power mid-range type of shot or a fairway type of shot, but really just anything that carries nice and straight and I'll get you a look on this 370-foot hole.
Eric looks like he's maybe throwing a little bit too hard and might be getting a little frazzled.
Comes out a little low there, unfortunately. See what Brendan can do here.
Little flip. Almost. Yeah, this is another one of those holes where you really have to be on and you have to lace a 370-foot shot. It's not one where you can get too lucky. It's either you hit the gap or you don't hit the gap, essentially.
Absolutely. Yeah, like I said, you've got a little more breathing room. It's a little bit of a wider fairway than a lot of the other holes at Iron Hill, but by all means, it's still demanding. A very demanding shot. You still have to execute that nice straight flight.
Eric getting him down. A little nice tree love there.
Brendan with some sort of mid-range.
Get in.
Ooh, trying to ring one up there.
Not too shabby.
See what Austin's got in store for us here. Probably a jump putt approach.
Looks like he was throwing the same mid that he threw off the tee.
I believe he was.
I like the mid-range jump putt game. I think that's kind of a cool thing you don't see too often.
James trying to ring one up for us here. A little high.
And that's the thing about some of the runs that James does. He kind of runs at it with reckless abandon, and if he misses, he has a long comebacker, but every now and then something like that will happen.
We're not used to seeing that out of James, yeah. Usually he's able to, to run those long putts with full confidence because those few times when he does miss and he has that 30-foot comeback, he's so consistent that he cleans right up.
Exactly.
A little bit of a miscue there from James, unfortunately, but some nice par cleanups by Eric and Austin here. And I guess we didn't get to see any twos on the last two holes.
Yeah, definitely a heartbreaker. If you don't get one of these two, it definitely doesn't feel too good.
Right, you're wanting to get at least one of the two. Obviously, 2 for 2 is great, but none of these guys quite connecting for birdie here.
So we have a 4 from James with that 3-putt, and then a bunch of pars from the rest of the card. Going into one of the weirder par 4s. Go ahead and give us a rundown here.
So this it shapes a little bit to like a flex sidearm maybe if you're trying to push all the way towards the green for an eagle look. A lot of players are just going to try to get a shot moving towards the gap and just kind of see what they get. If you move towards the left of the fairway, it's going to give you a more open look. The lines open up better when you get your shot moving left, kind of where you see Brendan going there. So.
And even though he wasn't that far up there, he's going to have a lane to get up and down.
Absolutely.
Whereas going more straight, if you do try throwing that flex flick, gives you a lot tighter lanes to have to throw through. So there's a couple options there.
Yeah, Austin he may be a little pinched off there. His sidearm got away from him a little, got a little nose up, under committed to the angle.
Uh-oh. Little inside.
James throwing an FD, if I'm not mistaken there. And Eric's got a tricky line here.
He's probably just trying to chunk one out. That actually...
This looks great.
That was pretty good.
Absolutely. He'll have a look to save a birdie there.
James throwing that same white disc he's been throwing. I believe that is a rock, correct?
I believe so.
And it's
yeah,
working.
If it is that rock, and yep, that's a well executed shot there.
And it's the Black Magic Frisbee. He has now painted it red.
He did. I believe I saw a bucket of dye in his bag. He dipped it in there. It is now glowing red.
Now glowing red.
Here's Austin with a nice looking up shot.
Beautiful.
Trying to ring up that eagle. So we're gonna have some birdie putts here.
And again, the past 3 holes here, 15, 14, and 13, you definitely want to get, at least 1 or 2 of these holes.
Absolutely.
Especially 15.
Absolutely.
And a nice save there from Eric after a good flick.
This hole does come in at the easiest hole according to par on the entire course. So
if you don't hit an early tree, you're probably getting a birdie.
This is by all means the kind of hole where you're definitely hoping to walk away with your 3, if not maybe connect for a 2.
Exactly.
All right, on to 16.
Yep, after hole 15, we had 3 birdies there from Austin, James, and Eric.
A big thanks to Zuka. We're back here on hole 16. It's a par 4, 610 feet. We're looking at kind of a tight gap off the tee. You really want to push to the right because that'll open up your angle coming into the green. You see a lot of players throwing backhand through the gap and then kind of hyzering out left, which will pinch off your angle. Eric comes a little over on that sidearm, and he is going to have that pinched angle I was talking about. Austin's is tracking more to this right side like I was talking about.
And that's not too shabby of a shot.
No, that's going to give him a good little line from over there. James is going to throw some sort of turnover here. Hyzer flip. And that's in an optimal position as well.
Pretty good. Yep. Brendan throwing a sidearm.
That's a good looking shot.
That is a good shot. That'll put you in play for sure. This one, you definitely, you need to be in an optimal spot to attack for birdie. Like you said, there are so many pinched off lanes that even a shot that gets up there still won't have an option to get a birdie on.
Absolutely. So our 3 guys out to the right here, they have an opportunity to kind of come straight down this lane, just like Austin's showing you here. That's a great upshot.
Oh, yeah.
You'll see the same from James. Ooh, tagging a tree. But Eric is going to have to deal with that kind of pinched angle. He's not going to quite have such an easy time accessing this green.
Little short on that approach from Brendan. Let's see what Eric's got from this patent pending lie.
And you can see it's trouble over here.
It's rough.
So he's going to try to bend a shot around back into the fairway. Not bad.
Okay.
That'll most likely be an up and down for a par. James with a long look.
Running it.
Ooh.
Woo! Okay. The guy's
Great.
incredible. He's
Absolutely.
incredible from 70, and there's a lot of good players out there, but when it comes to that range of putting, that's incredible.
Absolutely. Brendan trying to ring one up. That wasn't a bad look at all.
Eric with a little run, hits the tree right next to the bucket. And Austin with another laser beam.
Nice.
Another
that was
confident putt.
a good connection there.
Is he putting with Pro Discus putters?
I believe he putts with
Yeah?
a Sparta. Yes.
Okay.
Which is a yeah, maybe I don't know, I would compare it to maybe a P2 or
Okay.
an AVR or something like that.
Straight to stable kind of
Something
disc.
like that.
Cool,
I haven't
okay.
thrown it all that much, but
Looks like it's working for him.
absolutely, he does a great job with it. All right, hole 16. How are our scores looking?
Not too shabby. We had a birdie there from Austin after a beautiful upshot. James and Eric with the 4s, and Brendan with the tough bogey. Moving into the signature hole in the course, I would probably say hole 17. What do we see here?
I would agree, yeah. So this is 860 feet, and it is uphill the whole way. And just to put the cherry on top, it goes up onto a mound at the very end, as you see there coming into the green. You're going to have a pretty tight lane the entire way down. So players are looking to just rip one, ideally with plenty of distance, although, again, we're coming back to that same theme of you can bite off as much or as little as you want, as long as you're going to get through that gap, get your tee shot off in a good spot, and stay clean in the fairway.
And Eric and Austin both get up there a ways, but they're also left of the fairway, so either they have an open lane or they don't. It's really a dice roll at that point.
Absolutely.
James throwing that same hyzer flip disc he threw in the last hole, yanks it a little right, but we might get a little decent lie.
Those are all
Yeah.
good shots. They've all three of our first players have enough distance that they should be able to work an angle to continue to make progress.
And Brendan has hyzered out left after not getting the hyzer flip there.
Not a bad shot. He's going to try to work something back out into the fairway and get some distance.
I think he was
A little
going
bit.
for a roller.
Yeah, it was hard to tell whether it was going to be a flex shot or a roller, but he's making progress. He's going to be looking to get back out onto the fairway and try to get up and down for a par there.
And here's Eric throwing another hyzer flip forehand, which honestly, and I've played with him before, ooh, ouch. I did not know that was a shot that he threw often, was a hyzer flip flick. So I'm not sure if it's a new shot he's been working on or he's just, not playing courses where you need it too often.
Sure, right. No, Eric definitely does have
Gorgeous sidearm.
extremely gorgeous sidearm and an extremely versatile skill set.
Yes.
He definitely has, he has that backhand hyzer flip, forehand hyzer flip, whatever the shot calls for. Eric's got the skill to execute it. So that is a good observation. Coming out on some of these more wooded courses in the second half of the season, you're going to see players who throw a lot of overstable discs or hyzer shots. Suddenly they're being forced to throw more of those flip lines. So that is a fun thing to be able to see that side of players.
And potentially show off sides that people didn't think they had.
Exactly.
Which is always fun to see.
Absolutely.
James lining up a nice kind of staggered stance with that beat up AVR. He actually is still going to have a putt from the side of the hill. It's going to be about 30 feet uphill there.
And this green is so tough to access.
Very
You've got
tough.
trees everywhere guarding it, and you want to come up and land softly on this plateau. Eric hooking onto his finger a little bit there on the release.
There it is.
Magic. And he dipped it back in the black bucket for us this time.
Dipped it back in the black paint. It was red previously. Eric from the side of the hill, about 33.
Giving it a strong bid there. You'll see a lot of these putts from that side hill like you're seeing from James and Eric. Great connection from James there. And that's a tricky putt. Did you have to throw any of those this
I
weekend?
had 2 of those, and I knocked them off the top band, but they're still totally doable, and it's really not that bad to be on the side of the hill.
Right.
You know, you can still see the basket. It's not sloped to the point where you're, blind putting at it.
Of course.
But it's the whole concept of just getting it in position, for that type of putt. That's tough. It was mentioned that later on, the hole was eagled, it was 3'd, but we'll leave that up to the viewers to find out who did it.
Absolutely. A couple great birdies there by James and Austin. So hole 18. This is a heck of a finishing hole. I love this.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna see players just trying to smash one moderately overstable distance driver through this gap. Ideally finish forward and left. The closer you can get to this basket, the better, because that upshot is tricky.
James smashing a disc here. Beautiful.
This is looking great.
That is about as perfect as you could probably get.
That's an optimal spot. He would
Wow.
love to be another, 20 feet forward.
Yeah.
But there is nothing wrong with
He's
that
gonna
shot
take
at
that.
all. Absolutely.
And Brendan hopefully getting
Oof.
backside. That is a tough spot.
Absolutely.
Hopefully he
And-
can pitch up to that landing zone.
Yeah, and Brendan's had, he's had a couple miscues. He's been fighting this round.
There he
And
goes.
he's been doing a good job of managing those
yeah.
strokes. Nice shot from Eric here.
That's a good spot right there, most definitely. Looking at a forehand roller.
Again,
I stand corrected. A nice little flex forehand.
Yeah, again, kind of that in-between angle. Austin maybe looking for a roller there. Gets caught
No
up
dice.
pretty early. See if Brendan can get a nice up and down here to finish off his round. Looking nice. Get going. He'll have a putt. He'll have an
He'll have a
opportunity.
putt. Those rocks are about, if you're standing behind the rocks, you have about a 30-footer at the basket.
Yep.
Austin
Hey,
trying the
Austin,
ballsy
back-to-back
roller.
rollers.
And back-to-back hitting trees dead on, which is
Yep.
definitely heartbreaking when you're throwing a roller.
Absolutely. So Eric's got a decent angle here. Let's see if he can execute. Looking pretty
Soft
nice.
putter. Oh, yeah.
Awesome. And
Little
he'll
28-footer.
He'll have a nice opportunity from inside the circle there. James lining up a putter for us here.
Looks like one of his James Conrad AVRs and hits the last possible tree he needed to miss. Still has one of those long James Conrad signature putts, so we'll see if he can cash in on that.
Speaking of signature putts, Austin Hannum lining up that mid-range jump putt
The
again.
classic.
Almost ringing it up.
Let's see if he can make do here.
Absolutely. Come on, James. Give us the finish.
Oof. Almost looked like he tripped on that one.
All right. Eric's going to have a nice look for birdie here. We'll see if he can capitalize from just inside the circle here. Yes, sir.
Beautiful. Great way to finish the round.
Absolutely. And that's a good round from Eric. He's coming in with a good score there, and we'll see how it positions him on the leaderboard coming up.
Oh, yeah.
James is going to tap in his par.
Beautiful.
That was a great group of guys.
Oh, yeah.
They put on a nice show for us.
Couple nice putts, couple nice drives off the tee, and there you have it, round one.
Absolutely. A couple handshakes to finish the round. All right, here we go. 7 down, 6 down, 3 down, 8 over. So a wide variety of scores there.
And we look on the right side here, we see someone tied for 14th. A little special someone,
Hey.
like that.
Austin Hannum, you meant him, right? Nah, you and Austin Hannum both tied for 14th. We got a spread of other names there. Thank you so much for joining us for round 1 at the 2018 Delaware Disc Golf Challenge. I was one of your hosts, Joel Freeman.
And I'm Brian Earhart. We'll catch you later.